Imagine battling with something that feels invisible, a habit so private, so personal, that nobody talks about it, yet millions struggle with it every single day. For years, it controlled me more than I controlled it. And then one day, I made a decision. 90 days. No excuses, no escape, no masturbation. This is the story of how I faced one of the hardest challenges of my life and how it changed me forever. It all started with a question I asked myself one night. Am I in control of my habits, or are my habits in control of me? That question stung, because deep down, I already knew the answer. So I made a bold commitment, 90 days without masturbation. At first it felt exciting, a fresh start. I even told myself, this is going to be easy, I can handle it. But within the very first week, I realized just how powerful cravings can be. The urges hit like waves. They came out of nowhere, late at night, in the morning, when I was bored, even when I was stressed. Suddenly I noticed how much of my life was quietly built around this habit. Day 3 was the hardest. I couldn't sleep, my mind was racing, and my body was practically begging for release. But I told myself, if I give in now, I'll never know what I could become on the other side of this challenge. That thought kept me going. By the second week, something strange happened. My energy started to change. I woke up earlier. I had more time. But at the same time, the temptation became sneakier. My brain was trying to trick me, throwing excuses at me. Just this once, you've already made it far. You deserve a break. But here's the truth. Urges don't knock politely on your door. They barge in when you least expect it. I had to find weapons. My first weapon? Discipline. I started working out. Every time the urges came, I'd drop down and do push-ups. It sounds crazy, but it worked. My second weapon? Accountability. I wrote my streak on a calendar. Every morning, I'd see that number grow. 10, 15, 20 days. And I didn't want to break it. By day 30, something inside me had shifted. I wasn't just resisting a habit. I was building strength I never knew I had. This was when things got interesting. I started to feel alive. My energy wasn't wasted anymore. I noticed myself speaking with more confidence. I started looking people in the eye. My focus at work, my workouts, even my conversations, everything felt sharper, more real. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't all easy. Around day 45, the flatline hit. If you've ever heard of it, it's when your brain starts to feel completely numb. No motivation, no energy, no joy. It scared me. I thought, did I break myself? But instead of quitting, I doubled down. I reminded myself, this is my brain rewiring. This is healing. I started journaling, meditating, and reading. And slowly, the fog lifted. By day 60, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. The final stretch was the most powerful. At this point, urges didn't control me anymore. They came, but they passed. Like clouds drifting in the sky, something inside me had changed forever. I wasn't the same person who started this journey. Day 70, I remember looking in the mirror and actually respecting the person staring back at me. That was new. That was powerful. By day 80, I realized the challenge was no longer about saying no to something. It was about saying yes to myself. And on day 90, I didn't feel like I'd just completed a streak. I felt like I had rewritten my story. I learned that discipline isn't about denying yourself. It's about freeing yourself. I wasn't chained to an impulse anymore. I had proved to myself that I was stronger than I ever thought I could be. So what happens after 90 days without masturbation? You don't just save energy. You don't just gain confidence. You build a relationship with yourself that's unshakable. This challenge wasn't about being perfect. It was about becoming powerful. And if you're listening to this and wondering if you should try it, my answer is simple: yes. Not because it's easy, but because you'll discover a version of yourself you've never met before. This was my 90-day journey, and it was worth every second.